for gathering here today to honor our friend and colleague, Dr. Mary Eleanor Wickersham, one of the College of Coastal Georgia's first emeritus professors. As you can see, we are not gathered at the bench. I'm sorry that the weather was not cooperating as we had hoped, but I do hope that after our event here, you will take a look just on the other side of Lake Teal at the beautiful bench that was installed. It is a really nice place with lots of shade that I hope you will visit often. My name is Dr. Heather Farley. I'm the chair of the Department of Business and Public Administration, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the faculty and staff in the School of Business and Public Management. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to offer our thanks to those that made this event possible. I'd like to thank the Division of Student Affairs and Office of Student Life for their assistance in planning our event today, the Student Government Association for volunteering, and the Office of Technology Services for ensuring that we were well equipped to move forward. And we especially want to thank all of the donors who graciously contributed to the procurement of this memorial bench. Their names are listed in your program. As we take time to remember and honor Mary Eleanor today, we remember her for her academic contributions, and they were many, and the mark that she left on this campus. But I think many of us are here to honor the mentor and friend that she was as well. Mary Eleanor really was a lifelong learner. She earned her degrees over a span of 40 years, earning degrees in geology, clinical healthcare ethics, public administration, and culminating in a doctorate of public administration from Valdosta State University. While earning these impressive credentials, Mary Eleanor built a career that was nothing short of extraordinary. It really would make a very good memoir. Before joining us, she brought her passion for public service to her work in various fields, including her role as Health and Human Services Policy Advisor to Governor Sonny Perdue, now Chancellor Perdue. She helped establish SOURCE, an innovative Medicaid program that enabled older adults to receive essential healthcare services from home. And in 2010, ARC of Georgia recognized her as Advocate of the Year for her efforts to support individuals with disabilities. Even after retiring, she continued to serve her community by working as a grant writer and consultant for nonprofits and healthcare organizations across Georgia, including with Glynn County and the Rise Risley Initiative. Her academic journey as a professor at Coastal was marked by years of teaching, publishing, and building new public service leaders here at the college. She retired in 2017, leaving behind a program that reflects her commitment to practical, student-centered education, a legacy that we try to uphold today. Dr. Wickersham was the architect of the Bachelor of Science of Public Management program, as demand for new programs in public service and criminal justice were on the rise in our community. She launched the program, I think we've determined it was about 2013, and did so with an eye toward developing well-equipped, efficient, dedicated public servants. She was tough on her students, and she expected an awful lot from them. But her personality and her approach were such that they obliged happily. Many of us benefited from the veritable steam engine that was Mary Eleanor. She had a way of seeing tremendous potential in people, and she pushed them and mentored them into their roles. I know you're going to hear more about that this afternoon. We all did and continue to envy her penchant for scholarship. She cranked out articles like no one I have ever known. Even today, I come across articles in the most bizarre and interesting places, like the Journal of Southeastern Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies. You never know where you're going to find Mary Eleanor's work. Dr. Wickersham truly was a force. She made an impact on our community and on our campus, and we're thrilled to be able to dedicate this bench to her today with an official dedication date of September 27th, her birthday, in gratitude and in reflection. Her entire life, Mary Eleanor had an appreciation for the environment and for nature, and it was a shared love for that, for nature that connected us as colleagues first. So it feels only fitting that this bench in her memory is placed in a spot where all of us can enjoy the natural beauty that surrounds our campus. It will serve as a quiet spot for reflection, a place where students and faculty and visitors can pause, and a place where we can remember our friend, Mary Eleanor. Now, before I turn it over to Dr. Trussell, I'd like to give our dean, Dr. Skip Mounts, an opportunity to say a few words as well. Thank you.
I had not planned to be here today, so this is going to be a largely off-the-cuff thing. I came in June of 2011. I was hired by Dr. Hepburn, and she said to me, one thing you need to do is create programs. So I said, okay. And she said a good one to start with would be the Bachelor of Science in Public Affairs. No clue what that was. But I came up with something. I showed it to Dr. Hepburn, and she looked at it and went, well, okay. You need some help. I want you to meet someone. And that's how I met Mary Eleanor Wickersham. She was amazing. A scholar, more than I have ever been. Most important thing is that she's one of the first faculty members that I've ever met that actually engaged students in her research. It was truly unique. She was also one of the first the faculty that I met who actually had wonderful online classes. They were really demanding. And she had taught her students, like Brian Lemons, how to do a really fine online course. She was a wonderful person, a good friend, excellent scholar. Just two stories that came to me just because she had to talk to me at certain times. She finally got in line to get a kidney transplant. And that she had been in that line for a long, long time. So I get this call on the phone right before the fall term begins. Skip, it's Mary Eleanor. Hey, how are you? She said, well, I finally got a kidney. Great. I want you to know I've taken care of all my classes. I've got them all done right. I got you part-time instructors who will do it. And I want you to know that I just gave to David a rewrite on an article, and he's going to mail it in a minute. Well, that's great. I hope you're feeling well. Please rest in bed. I'm not in bed. I'm on the gurney, ready to go. So there she was. The next thing is by knowing her, I discovered where infinity is or was. I know my provost friend will tell me it's a concept. It is a place. It still is probably in Mary Eleanor's closet, because I never, ever saw her wear the same thing twice. And I would often say to her, Mary Eleanor, I've never seen, and I knew what the answer would be. I've never seen you in that. And she'd sort of look at me and go, and walk off. So I got the answer that I deserved. But I know in life we actually are blessed by things. And she blessed me. And I really miss her. Excellent. And I'll pass this along to Dr. Trussell.
Good afternoon. I'm humbled to speak today in memory of my dear friend, Dr. Mary Eleanor Wickersham. We shared a unique connection that goes way back. Mary Eleanor and my uncle were born on the same day, in the same hospital, in the town we both proudly call home, Sandersville, Georgia. I don't know if this is true or not, but legend has it her father, Dr. Rawlings, delivered my uncle, while another doctor in town delivered Mary Eleanor. Though we grew up in the same town, shared many family connections, it wasn't until years later, when God brought us back together as colleagues at the College of Coastal Georgia, that I truly got to know her. and I'm so grateful he did. She befriended me and took me under her wing, and because of her, my life and career are forever changed for the better. Mary Eleanor, as we've already heard, balanced being a caring educator and prolific scholar better than anyone I have ever known. I used to get emails from students weeks before a semester started asking me when my course syllabi would be ready because Dr. Wickersham already emailed hers out. She managed her courses with excellence and somehow also managed to publish like crazy. She was a machine. But while her efficiency was machine-like, there was nothing artificial about Mary Eleanor. A common thread through everything she did was her deep care for individual students and colleagues, for her family members and friends, and ultimately for humankind and the earth we inhabit. She was undeniably good at her job, but her legacy and the reason we are gathered here today is the heart with which she did it. To Mary Eleanor, every class was a collection of individuals with needs she worked tirelessly to understand and to meet. And every research project was an opportunity to improve a community, the environment, or both. And selfishly, my favorite of all her traits was that she didn't keep her passion and compassion to herself. She multiplied it to the students and colleagues she mentored, like myself. When I was a young faculty member suffering a big case of imposter syndrome, she believed in me and pushed me to learn what I was capable of. I probably speak for many of us here or watching by video when I say she wasn't just a friend and mentor, she was one of our biggest cheerleaders. Her picture hangs in my office, and she continues to inspire me to do more than I think I can do and to care deeply about those with and for whom I do it. Mary Eleanor, I love you and will forever miss you. I work hard every day to be more like you and to make you proud.
Thank you. Before I moved into this role as a president, I had the privilege of being the provost for 5.5 years here, and I came to the College of Coastal Georgia in January of 2019, and it didn't take long to find out about Dr. Wickersham. She was a giant in mentorship. I found that out really quickly. I heard all about her always being in a posture of mentoring people, not just students. A lot of us do that for students as faculty members and as staff members at a college, but she did it for everyone. She mentored the faculty that we've heard about already. She mentors so many students like Sean Boatwright, who moved into a leadership role in Camden County through the public administration program. She always had that in the front. It was almost like it was a part of her very DNA that she was going to change you, impact you, mentor you. She also, I found out very quickly, had a strong sense of justice. And she wasn't quiet. She didn't have a problem speaking up. So my first month here or so, I remember I come into the office one day and somebody's in there. I don't know who it is, but everybody's kind of just fawning over her and talking to her, and I thought that some kind of royalty has arrived in my office. It was her, and she was coming to see me. What she was coming to see me about was the Jekyll Island Pass. Because she was emeritus faculty, and emeritus faculty were not given a free Jekyll Island Pass, and I have served this college, and I have the emeritus status, I have faculty rank, and I should get a Jekyll Island Pass because that is just the right thing to do. And she didn't let me forget that. Over and over again, every semester, she reminded me that. It was kind of a standard banter that went back and forth. I don't know how, but I never gave her a Jekyll Island Pass. But she pushed that with me because she thought it was right. And she stood up for that. And when I met her that first time, I thought, she's a person of influence. She's one that can persuade others. And she was kind about it, but she was direct. And I was impressed by that. Her strong sense of justice extended, we see in her writing and her research, and it was in her teaching, and how she mentored students. You know, she wrote numerous articles, as you've heard. She wrote articles in ethics, in organizational culture, accountability, in healthcare, in the community, in wildlife. Obviously, she was in some fish and wildlife magazine somewhere. She was prolific, and few people I've met wrote as much as she wrote. And she was involved in our community, in equity and health, in environmental causes, including assisting the county on community surveys, and even volunteering with Rise Risley Initiative. She was a person who cared deeply about what happens in her community and beyond, and wanted to shape the future. In January of 2023, when she passed, we lost a giant. A giant. Not just on our campus, not just within our faculty ranks, but within our nation, within our world, because she was a mover and a shaker and impacted the world. So when I think about that, I think about this bench. This bench that we dedicate today really isn't sufficient to recognize all of her accomplishments. It's not possible. I don't think we can build a big enough monument to recognize what she has done. But I do think it's fitting and is a wonderful addition to our campus. And what better way to recognize her love for thought and critical thinking, her love for pondering nature, her love for the environment, her love for just sitting and thinking about what's next, than for us to dedicate a bench at a place where we can sit, and I know I'm going to use it, and reflect, remember her, and then make decisions or come up with ideas for what's next. What can we do? It's a great place that we can all use, and that will be a legacy here on this campus. So I am blessed that I knew her in the brief time that I did. And I will continue to learn stories about her, I know. We'll continue to hear stories about her for years to come, and we will share them here. But I'm delighted that we can dedicate this bench across the pond here. I want you to go see it. It's a beautiful spot in honor of her, to represent what she meant to this college, and it be there for years to come. Thank you for all who donated for that and supported. It's fully provided by donors. It is not provided by the college. It is provided by her friends and donors who loved her and appreciated what she did for them and for this community. And thank you today for coming out to be a part of this dedication ceremony. And if you like, if anyone wants to add any additional reflections, you're welcome to come to the microphone and do that. But if not, then otherwise we will be adjourned today. Thank you. Anyone want to come speak, say anything, add anything to this? Yes, sir. Okay. All right.
You taught me in the past. My name is Justice, and I'm actually an alumni at this great college. And this college has done a lot for me. It has taken me to places that I never thought I would go. And I think we have some people sitting in the audience who kind of know some of the things I've been involved in, and I think that I've been able to even impress myself. But once upon a time, I wasn't always this person. And under the mentorship of Professor Wickersham, I think she just pushed me to do great things. Just amazing things, like everything that you guys have said. I lived that experience. I was one of her students, I think, in her first graduating class out of the public affairs program, and from there I think I just took off, because I remember some of the things she had us do. It was rigorous, even for a college like the College of Coastal Georgia that was just new and up and coming. I mean, it was intense. And I've been other places and other spaces, and I've experienced nothing like it, I think. I talked to other people who went to other colleges, you know, some that have that prestige and that name and that title, and they just didn't have that experience, where she had us out in the community, and she had us doing projects, and she had us networking in our junior and senior years. And I think she might have had me do about 15 internships, because she just knew that's what it would take for some of us to become the professional that we are. And I think I'm just so grateful to have had her as a mentor and as a professor in my life. And I just give a lot of my experiences and my accomplishments to her. And that's just kind of all I wanted to share.
Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you. Dr. Hepburn, you want to say anything? Good? All right. Thank you for being here. Well, thank you all. Thank you for being here.